Hey everybody, we are back like straight away. I just reacted to the Battle Pass trailer and the patch notes are out already. I was expecting them to drop in like a couple hours, but here we go. So let's get into them and see what is new. Buffs, all that balancing changes, all that stuff. It's going to be a fun time. So of course, Fuse is the newest legend. If you didn't know already, his abilities are these. So for the passive, you can stack an extra grenade per inventory slot. You can fire grenades farther, faster, and more accurately. The tactical is a knuckle cluster. You can launch a cluster bomb that continuously expels airburst explosives on impact. And the motherload, launch a bombardment that encircles a target area in a wall of flame. So we've seen these abilities quite a lot already. There was sort of a preview video by a creator on YouTube. There was the Fuse trailer, so we know a lot about his kit. Quite interesting for sure so far. It's kind of, we're more interested about the buffs. So here's the 30-30 repeater. Looks interesting. Okay, this heavy ammo lever action repeater boasts hard-hitting rounds that'll nail a fleeing Mirage at 200 paces. Poor Mirage. Okay, interesting. 30-30 repeater requires users to rechamber their rounds between shots, which brings a methodic rhythm to the rifle. All right, they're making it sound beautiful. The 30-30 repeater has a built-in charge, giving players an opportunity to deal increased damage with each shot at the cost of a short build-up. The 30-30 reload one at a time, which makes for some very interesting resource management you won't find anywhere else, even on the Mastiff. Okay, interesting. So you can shoot, then reload, then shoot and reload. Yeah, quite interesting. And obviously, we saw once again on Daz's channel this in action. You aim down sights and then it charges up. The longer it's charged, the more damage it will do, up to a maximum of 57 I think for a body shot and 100 for a headshot. So we got the new Kings Canyon map update. Now this is also something that we have seen in another video on my channel. We also covered it. They did a map update blog, which you can find on the latest news section. Basically, they've added a new point of interest where Slum Lakes was, and they've destroyed the mountain behind artillery to open up the map more to put a point of interest there. There are also a bunch of buildings either added or removed throughout the map. Legendary magazines. Season 8 introduces the gold tier magazines. Attaching it to a weapon automatically reloads your stowed weapons. So it's the same capacity as purple mags and it takes 5.5 seconds. So you can reload faster, much faster than it can to auto reload. So it's not overpowered really. Now let's see what the actual patch notes are. The real changes. Damage counter. We have now added a damage counter to the HUD. Yeah, so in-game you can see your damage as you kill people, so you can track your damage, counter badges and all that stuff. Pinging weapons or ammo in your inventory displays your current ammo account along with player wants ammo. That's nice. Colorblind update. This new colorblind update. Lore blurbs on canon skins. Some of our skins are canon and some are just for fun. For the skins that represent an important part of that character's backstory, we've added a small blurb to describe the significance of that skin in the legend's life. This is really interesting. I like this. So obviously some skins are canon and some aren't. So having this distinction and actually having some lore there is really cool. That was unexpected. Really excited to see that. Oh boy. Here's the Wraith nerf. Okay, hitbox adjustments. We know Wraith will always be a popular pick considering the amount of combat utility in her kit. After many tweaks to her abilities and animations, the fact remains that her win rate continues to be at the very top as it has since day one. With Season 7 hitbox adjustments to Pathfinder, we were able to control his power without nerfing his kit. We hope to do the same with Wraith. Wraith now has a slightly larger hitbox than her fellow small legends, but the changes stay true to her model. As you can see in the before and after comparison, we're adding some width mostly in the torso and leg areas. So this is probably confusing, right? Wraith now has a slightly larger hitbox than her fellow small legends. In the past, before this update that goes out tomorrow, all small legends had the same exact hitbox, but the issue was Wraith's animations meant it so that less of her hitbox was actually able to be shot at a time. So her hitbox is now bigger than Lifeline's and Watson's. However, in terms of like how she's moving around in her animations, she's hopefully going to be more in line with the other legends. She's not now easier to hit than the other legends. She should hopefully be about as easy to hit as both Lifeline and Watson. So interesting change for sure. I mean, we can see, let's see here. It's not a massive change, to be honest. Doesn't say the exact size difference, but yeah, this is important because of her animation so small. Okay, here we go. Wraith remains... Okay, even with these changes, Wraith remains small and hard to hit. She will retain low profile as we monitor her usage and win rates and see if power can be given back in other ways in the future. So it's a straight up hitbox nerf. Nothing else is changing to her kit. And they'll monitor it and see how it goes. Very interesting. Next, we got our Rampart. Sheila angle increased from 120 to 180. A nice change. I would love to just have it 360, let's be honest. Wall health and build phase increased from 1 HP to 45 HP. Sniper rounds still pierce through. So this is something that the devs talked about in the past. A nice change. We're going to need more. We'll look at the bug fixes later in this section, and hopefully they've fixed her bug where you place walls on a slope and it doesn't place. Rampart has remained at the bottom across her performance metrics since her release. Her kit is very much built around proactively setting up a powerful position, but in a game as fast moving as Apex, we determined her wall should have some reactive power as well. We're keeping a careful eye on this one. Yeah, it's definitely not going to bring her that high up. Rampart mains will be happy, but she's probably going to still be low tier. Horizon. Gravity lift effective cooldown increased from 21 seconds to 25. The 15-second cooldown timer will now stop when the gravity lift disappears. Okay, so the gravity lift, you place it down in the past, and then as soon as you place it down, the cooldown would start. This now has quite an interesting change, so you're going to be waiting an extra 4 seconds. Horizon released strong to the point where she rivals Wraith in win rate and pick rate. For the time being, we're monitoring her usage and checking whether or not the cooldown changes have a significant effect. Yeah, well, both Horizon and Wraith are going to be sad, to be honest. She's still going to be really powerful, without a doubt. Her ultimate is still really good. Her gravity lift is still really good. Her passive is good. A bit of an extra cooldown may mean that you're going to not get out as many situations, but still going to be a very highly played and picked legend. Launchpad remastered for Octane. Okay. Many players have known about Octane's super jump that was possible with a well-timed jump while hitting the pad. Once the double jump option was introduced, there was an input clash that led to unreliable usage. We decided to add some launch options that are better defined than the old super jump. Hitting the jump pad from a standing position will launch players along a high arc, the speed and trajectory of the old super jump. So we get higher jumps now than in the past, which is great. From a crouched position, players will launch along a low arc. They'll fly lower but farther in the horizontal direction. So this is the buff I talked about in an earlier video that devs have been discussing. It is in Season 8, which is really cool. Crypto, remove ability to stick arc stars to friendly drones. I can see why that could be an issue, yeah. That's a shame, I suppose, but it makes sense. It's more of like a bug fix in a way. Not really a bug fix, but not really a direct nerf. Nothing else for crypto, though. Loot inside unopened care package is now visible for eye for quality and accessible through the Black Market Boutique. So this is another thing that the devs talked about. It is coming in Season 8. And this is really good for Caustic. All gas now dissipates as soon as Caustic's team is eliminated. So you're not going to kill Caustic and there's just a massive gas cloud stopping you getting to their loot and healing up. So really nice change. Mirage decoys create footstep sounds now. So this was meant to be in the Fight Night update, but it didn't get pushed out, but it is now. Fully kitted rotation. So these are the golden weapons. So the Wingman, Sentinel, Havoc, G7 and Alternator are removed. We get the R301, 3030 Repeater, Mozambique, Longbow and Spitfire. Interesting. Really excited to get the 3030 Repeater. I guess it will have similar attachments to the Scout, like a 24X. We're removing the gold barrel from the loot pool. Kind of makes sense since they changed the muzzle flash. Like, it doesn't really do much, to be honest. Hop-ups. The double tap hop-up will be removed and the Anvil rounds hop-up will be added. So as we saw in Daz's gameplay footage, the double tap is back. No, it's gone. The Anvil Receiver is back. So when you shoot with that, if you're in single fire mode with the R301 or flatline, it will do more damage. It will fire slower, but it will use 2 rounds per shot. So it's like an interesting way to do more long-range damage. Bullet damage decreased. So the Vault got a nerf. Interesting. We may be going back to the R9 then. Because the R9 time to kill is just slightly faster than the Vault's. Just slightly. Very, very, very slightly. The DPS is faster on the R9 already. So, yeah, but it's still going to be a strong weapon. It has much more damage per magazine, per reload, so that's going to be more forgiving. It's far easier to use long range. It's probably going to be still a decent versatile option, but This is cool. The alternator bullet damage increased from 15 to 16. Now, is that going to make the alternator in line with the R9 and the Volt? Maybe not. It's a very slow firing SMG, that's for sure. But it does. It's very accurate. It's very easy to use. So yeah, I find myself using the alternator and actually liking it already. So this is going to be a nice change. I still think it's going to be like a low tier SMG in comparison to the R9 and Volt, but interesting to see. Okay, Spitfire. Bullet damage increased from 18 to 19. Yeah, this is going to be good for Rampart. No one else really, because who uses the Spitfire really? It's clunky. You can't hit fire with it anymore. Aiming down sights, you move really slowly. But behind cover or behind a Gibby gun shield is going to be nasty. Reload speed increased. Okay, so it's slower reloads. Makes sense. The gold magazine may help a little bit. But this is an example, right? Spitfire is an LMG, so it's one of the slowest reloads in the game. But it's still faster than the 5.5 reload time when you have a gold mag. So, yeah, that makes sense, right? It's quicker to reload than to holster the weapon. So don't worry, the gold mag is not going to be overpowered. Yeah. And that's quite interesting. If you have one bullet left in the Spitfire, you save 0.6 seconds with this change. That's crazy. EVA 8 fire rate increased. So they didn't nerf the Mastiff. They buffed the EVA instead. So they still like the idea of shotguns being strong. Interesting. Not a massive change, but big enough. Okay. Sonar abilities no longer stop Corsics highlight vision. Sure, that's good. Fix a few exploitable areas. Okay. Jump pad in Octane's town takeover no longer allow Rampart to place Sheila on them. Okay. Fix an issue with Rampart's passive persisting. But there's nothing about Rampart's walls. I'm a little bit worried about that. That is a shame. Really is quite a shame. Fix an issue causing the havoc to 100% accuracy when hip fired through Rampart's amp cover. No! I remember when someone showed me this. I was so shocked that that is even a thing. How could it be a thing? I don't know. But that's now fixed. POV issue that occurs with the Peacekeeper. Yeah, I knew that. They fixed the heirloom thing. Issue of crowds not showing. There's crowds? Didn't know that. Okay. The care package weapons are the same. We're not really seeing too many weapon changes. I mean, the hop-ups have changed. Nothing to the Mastiff. Interesting. I think that we're going to be seeing the R9 a bit more Spitfire, a bit more EVA 8, a bit more Alternator, and perhaps a bit more of a like mid to long range meta. If you've seen the King's Canyon map updates, it would make sense. Overall, some interesting changes. I'm so worried for Rampart. If she still has the bug, I'm going to be sad, but we'll see. Nice to see the Corsic change. The Octane change is going to be huge. That sounds like a really good buff. The Wraith's still going to be a very picked legend. I doubt it'll make that much of a difference, really. Maybe? Are we going to find out that Wraith is really just good because she has such a small, like, shootable area? I don't know. We'll see. Either way, really excited. I am going to be dropping a video about Season 8 as soon as it goes live tomorrow. So make sure to sub for that. And then I'll be streaming on my second channel. So link is in the description for that as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio!